mic up. This is legacy emotion. For vision of victory, trailblazing the path. Mind sharp, words heavy, every bar got class. Iconic by nature, pioneer by design. History in the making every time she aligns. Doctorate dreams, but the roots run deep. Built from the grind, now the whole world speaks. Culture, purpose, power when she steps in the room. Drop gems so real, make the future zoom. Yeah.
This is iconic pioneers. Hear the story unfold, where the fearless lead and the truth gets told. Every voice legendary, every lesson precise. Hosted with wisdom, Dr. Tabatha Russell on the mic. Press play. Stay ready. The movement starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Iconic Pioneers podcast. It's the space where disruptors, trailblazers, and bold thinkers gather to rewrite the rules of success. I'm your host, Dr. Tabatha Russell, and on this show, we will go deep with those who aren't afraid to lead differently, build legacy, impact, and authority that echoes for generations. Can I just say, I'm so super excited to have this amazing lady, Miss Kimberly Byers, with us on today. She is doing some awesome things in the world, okay? She is transforming some leaders and making some differences in leadership as well. So, Miss Kimberly, thank you so much for being here on today.
Thank you, Dr. Tabatha, for having me on your show. I appreciate you so much.
Yes. Well, if you will introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and how you're helping people to change their trajectory, right?
Absolutely. So I am Kimberly Byers, founder of Byers Peace of Mind, where I help those that are struggling with trauma, loss, and emotional exhaustion. Help them to move forward in things that they thought were impossible for them, especially as a leader and a mentor. I help those to function a little bit easier by taking them through a process that walks them step by step to overcome, adapt, and excel.
Oh, I love that. And I know that you've been doing this for quite some time as well. So tell me about, what does being an iconic leader mean to you personally?
So personally, Dr. Tabatha, that's a great question. Being an iconic leader is so important in today's society because oftentimes we need to find a way to stand out, especially when it comes to those that look for us for mentoring and leadership. So an iconic leader is someone that can boldly go into the world or go into a space and say, hey, how can I help you? How can I serve you? Not serving yourself, but serving them beyond recognition, meaning that you have the ability to come in, speak your mind, and have a seat at that table.
Oh, I love it. Yes. Talking about the seat at the table. Now, I know that you have a long history of experience. You've done some amazing things. So can you tell us just a little bit about your background and some of the things that you've done to get you to this place to where you can coach and train and consult with leaders today?
Absolutely. So back a while ago, let me tell you. First of all, I was in a horrific car accident that rendered me, so they said, paralyzed, right? So when I say that, they told me I was going to be paralyzed. I was like, no, ma'am, no, sir, not this one here. I have some work to do. I want to join the military. So let's fast forward. I joined the military because that paralyzation, so they said, was not going to stop this sister. So I went into the military, did 30 years as a phenomenal leader. And I say a phenomenal leader because I have soldiers, airmen, sailors that have come to me and said, you changed my life. You changed my life as a leader because you never wavered. You were always direct, but you were fair, and you always gave us the ability to grow and to provide us guidance when we needed to be leaders. And then I joined the government, and I worked for 11 and a half years in the government. And that to me was an eye opener because I knew that leadership was important in the military and in the government. But as a government civilian, it's very hard to put your foot down and say, hey, let me lead this way. You have to adjust. And adjusting is not easy, but it's not difficult if you put your mind to it. So I adjusted in the civilian life, and I'm able to stand here now as a coach, a speaker, an author, a consultant, to allow those that have that space, but they're not quite sure how to navigate that space. I want to guide them through it. I want to help them to overcome the fear, the doubt, the naysayers, that hidden voice in the back of their head that keeps telling them they can't when they know they can.
Oh, I love that. What did I tell you guys? I did say that she has a long history of being super amazing. Like, she just gave us a small tidbit of what she has been through. 30 years in the military. Thank you so much for your service. And then you went back and put in another decade plus, right? On serving in the government. So tell me about a defining moment when you realized that you weren't built to follow the crowd. How did you use that to stand out?
When people in my job told me that I couldn't. When I was told that you are not going to go any further than you are here today. And, you know, a lot of times we look at that as a challenge, right? So I took it as a challenge in my life, in my career, in raising my son. I took it as a challenge because I wanted to not only show him the difference, but I also wanted to show those that are out there in the community how we can withstand things that our focus doesn't allow us to stay stuck. So we move forward. And how do we go about moving forward? We allow ourselves to go above and beyond to show others that you cannot stop me.
Ooh, I love it. Well, I can definitely tell that you're a fighter, a warrior, and an overcomer based upon you being 30 years in any one thing, right? Let alone the military.
Right.
So I know that you are definitely one that you face how would they say, obstacles, right? Head on, right? You don't look at it from the side, you don't try to push it off, but you face it head on. So I know also that every leader faces some sort of resistance. So what's one obstacle that almost broke you? I know that we talked about a defining moment just now, but how did you overcome that obstacle that almost broke you? You talked about overcoming the diagnosis of being paralyzed and that kind of stuff. Like, go a little bit deeper with us on how you were able to overcome.
So, Dr. Tabatha, you know, that defining moment, and I think that those that know me, like yourself, know that when my mother, my brother, my aunt, my uncle passed away back to back to back, that broke me. I had to step away from everything, and I almost stepped away from my life to include my child. And that defining moment, whew, I tell you, it took me a minute to get myself together, to be able to come out here and speak to those that are struggling with those things. Not so much from the grief, but the trauma, the emotional exhaustion that all of that can put on a person. So that for me was a defining moment when everything changed for me. Everything was like, how do you go from being down here to bringing yourself up out of that? When my mom was on her deathbed and she told me, she said, don't stop living your dreams. She said, this is going to be hard for you, I know, but don't you stop. Don't you stop focusing on your dreams. And that's to help and serve others. And that's what I do today.
I love it. Well, I can definitely tell that you serve others well based upon your long track record and your long history, right? So how do you the balance building wealth, influence, and impact without sacrificing your authenticity? Because I know that, the way that you show up is that you definitely are there to serve. So how do you balance all of that together?
A lot of times the balance comes from journaling. So I journal a lot because it allows me to get those things that are in my head out of my head and on paper so I can clearly see what's going on. And a lot of times, how people say, well, I know if my desktop is crazy looking, or a specific room that you like to frequent, like your bedroom. If your bedroom is looking crazy, stuff all over the place, up in here is crazy, right? It's a mess. So for me, I find myself, if I journal and I sit with it for a minute, I can oftentimes see where I'm stuck and where that time has been spent and not on good stuff. So I have to sit with it. I have to write about it. And for me, if you can write about it, you can talk about it. And that's what has helped me to really balance out. Saying that I'm okay when I'm not okay, don't do that. Setting those boundaries where you need to set boundaries, you need to. As an individual, we all have to set boundaries. So that has been my way of balancing life overall, especially when I feel off balance.
I love it. I know that you service a lot of high achieving individuals that may be going through some challenges, and you help them to bring that clarity. So journaling, I know, is everything, right? Like I believe in setting the precedence or the foundation of your day through journaling, even at night, right before you go to bed. Put down those thoughts so that you go to bed with a clear mind, basically. But what's a myth about leadership or success that you believe needs to be dismantled immediately, right? There's a lot of things that we see going on today, and all of it is not favorable for success. So what's one thing that comes to mind for you?
As a leader, I think oftentimes we think we know everything, and we think that we are unable to learn something new. And I think that when you have leaders that think that way, they often miss the boat. They forget that the people that are there working with them, that they have hired or they have on their team, sometimes you just need to sit back and listen to them. Don't speak. Just let your team speak to you and tell you some of the things that is on their mind. Because oftentimes those little shifts, those little changes, that little pivot that I talk about, that right there can make or break your business, or you as a leader. It can make or break you. But it also helps you to learn about your people and let them know, as a leader, you see them, you hear them, you support them.
Yes, knowing that you're that type of caregiver, I almost call it, right? When you're consulting people, you're
Yes.
caring to their challenges, their needs, their obstacles, and you're helping them to write the vision, right? So that they can move forward. And I know that success leaves clues. So what are some of your daily habits or rituals that keep you operating at an iconic level?
So one of the rituals that I have adjusted to, and I'm really working hard on that, is if I set an alarm clock and that alarm goes off, I need to get up. So that new thing for me, especially since I'm doing everything at full throttle, I have to dial back sometimes and say, I'm going to stop at this time in the evening. And in the morning, when that alarm clock goes off or God wakes me up, I need to get up. I need to get up, say my prayers, read my scripture, and move forward, and not dwell on anything that happened yesterday or the day before. Focus on the day, focus on the moment, stay in the present.
I love it. I love it. Staying present is huge, right? That means that you're intentional. That means that you're listening. You are practicing on being there with the individual. Like I know for me, because I do so many things throughout the day, and sometimes it feels like you're putting on all the hats, right? You're putting on one and taking off one. However, one of the things that I am very sure about is making sure that I am in the moment, right? I am present. I am here with you. And all the other stuff right now does not matter, right? Like I'll get to that because if I am going by my schedule, which I use time blocking at every interval, right? Then that allows me to be able to say, you know what? This is all that I'm focused on right now. This
Yes,
is all that
yes.
matters. And then I'll move on to the next thing, right? So legacy, I know because you're very intentional about being a legacy builder, but legacy is more than wealth. So what legacy are you intentionally creating for the generations to come?
So the legacy that I'm creating for generations to come, I believe, is the mindset that you serving others is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. So for me, serving others is so important. And especially when it comes to my son, my nieces and nephews, my sisters, my friends, I often let them know that me serving others is so important. And that's a legacy you leave for others because they see or they saw what you did and they take little nuggets from that and they're like, oh, I can do this and not lose myself. I can do that without losing. Oh my goodness. I'm with that program. So serving to me is everything, whether it's volunteering, whether you're serving your community, your church, your neighbors that, can't get around and you helping them out, or is serving your son or your daughters or your nieces and nephews. Service is so important in leaving a legacy.
Oh, I love it. I know that if you are not a good follower, how can you
Mhm.
be a good leader, right? So serving
Mhm.
basically takes things to the next level because you're saying it's not about me, it's about how I can be available and of service to you. So
Mhm.
that is such a great model that you shared with us because legacy is all intertwined in that, right? When
Mhm.
we
Mhm.
live a life of service, it's very easy to get other people on board with the vision, right? To
Right,
be able to
right,
see where it is that you're going
right.
and be able to go to that next place. So I love, love, love that. And you talked about your family aspect.
Mhm.
That you're bringing along and how it is that you serve them and your clients and all of them in order for them to be able to say, you know what? I love that. If nothing else, I know that Miss Kim was a servant first, right? And then
Yes.
everything else comes along with that. So on the show here, we like to talk about leadership, luxury, and legacy here. So, how do you
Mhm.
personally define luxury as a leader?
Luxury as a leader. Wow. That's a great
Mhm.
question. I never looked at anything like that as so I guess I could say if I'm, going off the top of my head, luxury as a leader would be defined as making a difference in just one person's life a day. That's a luxury for me. I think if I can make a difference in one person's life a day, I've done what I was supposed to do on that day.
Ooh, I
Mhm.
love that. And that goes back to that intentional piece, right? If you can do
Mhm.
that for just one person per day, you've done your task. I know that the Lord was always concerned about the one. He let the 99 go and he
Yes.
went back for the
Mhm.
one, right? Because why?
Mhm.
He's like, oh no, everybody's winning on this team, right? So we're focused on you. So I love that. What's one of the boldest risks you've ever taken in your career? Now, I know with having a 30-year experience or service to the military that you've taken some bold risks because you just don't get in and say that I'm a do this, right? I know a lot of
Right.
people that got out sooner than that, right?
Mhm. Right.
But how did it reshape your trajectory just by you taking that bold risk?
So the bold risk for me has reshaped my intentions for my life. So oftentimes I thought in the military, I'm supposed to do this, this, and this, right? You have leaders that do the bare minimum, or they'll say to you, oh, I got mine, you need to get yours. So one of the bold risks that I took, not only in the military, but also in my government life, civilian life, I told my leader, my supervisor, that your advice to tell people that you've done it, you've got it, and the other person has to get theirs, I would tell the supervisor, that's not what you do. We as leaders we have a responsibility to those that we serve and that we look over and that we supervise to make sure that they're getting everything that we were afforded the opportunity to. And if you don't do that as a leader, as a supervisor, as a manager, as a military person or a civilian, or even in your business, if you're not doing that, you're doing all of them a disservice. And you're doing yourself a disservice, because in the end, you're going to lose, because you're going to see it come out. It's going to come out. It's going to come out.
I love it. And a lot of times when it comes out, it's spewing everywhere, right?
Yes.
Everybody's been overlooking it for a long time. And now all of a sudden, it definitely does come out. I know that you have a lot going on in your space. Just talk about for a moment some of the things that you have that's coming up, because I know that you have several things that you're working on. So share with us what you have coming up next.
Absolutely. The exciting thing that I have coming up next is Super Bowl Media Week in San Francisco. There's like 30 of us going out there to San Francisco to interview NFL players, actors, actresses, media folks, and I'm excited about being in the space.
I love it.
San Francisco is going to light up when we get there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That is super amazing. And I love hearing about that. But talk for just a moment for those that are listening or watching the show on today, who feel called to lead, but they question their power. What's your message that you would want to share with them? Because I know that sometimes crossing over to actually doing something and taking action can be a little challenge, especially after the person may have experienced some loss, or they've had some challenges and some obstacles. And I know that that's your specialty. So talk about that just a moment.
Right. So I would say that anyone that is out there that has been assigned to lead and they're feeling doubtful, or they're listening to that little voice in their head telling them not to, I would tell them to push forward, even just a little bit, even if you're just taking one step at a time, or you talk to somebody, talk to a coach, a friend, someone close to you that you trust, that will give you the ability to say, hey, I'm not feeling at my best to lead or to take this position. How can you assist me? And what are the words that I should look for, or advice that you can give me to say, hey, you got this. You can do this. Don't let anyone stop you. Push forward and never quit. Never, ever quit on yourself. I don't care what people say to you. Never, ever quit on yourself.
Oh, I love it. Never, ever quit on yourself. That means that you are always working towards that. I tell people that for some of us, we've played safe a long time. Now it's time to master some things, right? But that also means that you take a really hard self-inventory of your strengths, your weaknesses, all those things that you've been doing for so long, and how you're now going to implement that and put that into proper trajectory. Now, I know that you have a couple of courses within your platform. Can you talk about some of those and the differences or the options that you have for people that could be interested? Talk about that for just a moment.
Absolutely. So one of the courses that I have is called Combat the Confidence. It's a 12-week course that allows you to see where you are with your confidence. Now, sometimes the confidence could just be you speaking out, speaking up for yourself. Because a lot of times when you don't have the confidence to speak up for yourself, I've been there. I know what that feels like. I've been told that I had no confidence. When inside of me, I knew that my confidence was in there. I needed to fight to bring it out and not let others tell me that I didn't have any confidence. And that's a 12-week program that I think that anyone that's struggling with their confidence, they can come and talk to me, and I'll walk that stretch with them, because I know with that, we can both see them excel. And then I have another program that's called Combat to Calm. Why is it called the Calm? The Calm is about athletes, coaches, people that are feeling lost in themselves right now that need a calmness to be able to withstand anything that gets them all shooken up, that shakes them up so bad that they can't focus. So we calm the nerves inside of them. We calm the thoughts in their head in order for them to step forward boldly where they need to go.
I love it. Both of those sound super amazing. And can I just say that Combat to Calm, that's for everybody. In some circles, they say body. You heard it here, right? Go ahead and get the Combat to Calm, okay? Because it's needed. Because I know, like, look, we're a big sports family over here, right? So we were watching the games, and a couple of the games had us emotionally charged because they were that close. And, ultimately, our team, they didn't quite pull it out because the other team fought just a little bit harder. So calm right now is the word of this season for real, because we had to bring it back in. So for those that are looking to potentially connect with you and they're saying, you know what, I've been doing what I've been doing for so long, I think I need some help. What's the process to work with you? And also, how can they connect with you as well?
Absolutely. You can contact me on all social media websites, all social media websites at Kimberly L Byers, that's Byers, or you can reach me at www.byerspom.com, or you can send the word peace to 571-531-7877. Well, I'll reach back out to you in due time. Thank you.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So thank you so much, Ms. Kim, for being here on today to talk about your calm method, your combat to confidence as well. Confidence is something that we need to hold close to chest all the time as well, because how you show up in the marketplace determines how you help people, right? How you show up in their lives and show up for them as well. So thank you all for tuning in to Iconic Pioneers, the podcast where we don't just build brands, we build blueprints for generations. Remember, icons aren't born, they're built by those bold enough to lead unapologetically. Until next time, keep leading, keep building, and keep breaking every limitation. And can I just say, Ms. Kim, we have to have you back to find out how things are going in your space with your different programs that you're helping. How is Media Week and all of that as well. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dr. Tabatha. I would love to come back.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Take care.
This is Iconic Pioneers. Hear the story unfold, where the fearless lead and the truth gets told. Every voice legendary, every lesson precise. Hosted with wisdom, Dr. Tabatha Russell on the mic. Press play. Stay ready. The movement starts now.